My wife cheated countless of times and I found something heartbreaking. Part 3. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. At this point I was not even thinking about the obvious. It didn't cross my mind. I asked him when he thinks they had sex last because I, pretending to be her, wouldn't know where I went if I didn't know when it was. He said I don't know, I think coats just became a thing. I still wasn't thinking about the obvious. I said oh? Like fall? So I was thinking there was overlap when my wife and I started having sex, but I refused to call it dating at the time because I knew she was too desperate offering me threesomes with her twin. I made it official November 19th after a few months of her trying to convince me to date her and that she would be mine and trustworthy. It was like qualifier dating. She told me we were exclusive. So when this guy said this I was thinking nice Rebecca, I knew you weren't exclusive. Then I asked about it. I said well it wasn't as late as November was it? He said yes. So this was when I started to panic. Before I could even ask my next question, he then on his own said, so I might have a daughter then eh? I mean I did cream pie you hardcore. My firstborn, Zoe, was born 2 weeks early, her due date was my birthday, August 2, 2012 and instead ended up being my mother's birthday, July 18, 2012. Her conception date, November 9 roughly given my wife's cycles. She got pregnant early when we were together. I then asked this guy what makes you think that you might be the dad? He said, well ex-friend, mutual of my wife's and his, said you were pregnant about a month after we had sex, it is possible. I know the exact date everyone found out about my wife's pregnancy. I am good with dates. It was December 11th. As I said, November 9th was the rough conception. He said he heard a month after they had sex that he heard she was pregnant and thought the baby could be his at the time, which men never admit to. However, their mutual friend told him that he probably wasn't, so he dropped it. So my firstborn Zoe might not be mine. This is the worst possible scenario I could have imagined if she is not. Point 1, my firstborn changed my life. I say this a lot. Zoe and I have an extremely strong bond. She is so much like me. I have bonds with all my kids of course. But Zoe was the first time I felt true love. I had been hurt very badly in life even then. She talked extremely early because she bonded to me and she found I reacted when she did. I have posts of her talking so young and it was solely due to our relationship and bonding. This girl was my world when I had no world when my dad had just died. She got me through it. You all have no idea how much I love my kids and she was the start of that. She has 5 siblings who then have to be around another dad or that Zoe has to be separated from while with this dad. So a side note, if Zoe is not mine there is not even a remote chance I can't get an annulment. The odds become 100%. Hiding of different fathers to children is precisely verbatim listed as a parameter for annulment grounds. Fraud is generalized, and is not defined, so the tribunal has to kind of decide if it is enough of a misrepresentation to have affected your decision to get married, prior infidelity, and they might not think it actually affected your decision. Children's misrepresentation is actually listed as an item. It is a 100% get out of marriage free card. So while this is insanely upsetting it might be a blessing. I got a paternity test for Zoe and just sent it in yesterday, July 6th, with expedited results, and I will do this for the rest of my kids, but at least on annulment issues they have to have been before we got married on the concealment end, which is 3 of them. I realized this is not the only reason for such a test, also I was already planning on doing this but it kept getting put off, it may well be my annulment ticket. I will say all of this has changed me rapidly. In some good ways. It's still unreal. I will do another post when Zoe's test results come back. I will do another update when I do the other kids. Update, I updated my original cheating post about my wife, well it got better again. She has a second phone. Today my daughter somehow had it. My wife said she found it in a parking lot. Then she quickly grabbed it and said she threw it in the trash. I tried to go through it and she immediately pulled it out of my hands. I asked what she did with it, she said she threw it away. This was in front of my kids and when she first took it she went out and started talking to my friend we were picking up the kids from as if nothing happened to shut me up in public. I was sitting in the car with all my kids. It was an epic move and calculated. I pursue it, it makes a fight with the kids, right in front of them. I pursue her, it's in public in front of her friend. And she made sure I knew it. The kids were in the car and I tried not to make a scene but said we are getting that phone. She said she wasn't going through the trash. I then said I'll get it. She wouldn't stop the car. Now in hindsight she just put it in her pocket. She then said as I persisted when we got home finally that she would go back and get it. I called her saying that wasn't okay. She said it was fine to meet her there. She got the phone out of the trash. When she did, she grabbed me and kissed me, and kept pulling my face to look at her. Cheaters and liars do this for control. She had deleted most of the texts but not some of the pictures. It was her phone. Ironically, she didn't delete the monthly sign up for Straight Talk Wireless, since April 20th. She even insisted it wasn't hers after I got it. She must have thought she deleted it all. She didn't. And she kept denying after I said I see pictures of you at a house which isn't ours. She said, what pictures? She wanted to know what I knew. So the wife is still cheating. She refuses to admit it and said it was in case I used her phone, but she had saved images from people she doesn't talk to on her other phone. This means it is to talk to people I won't know about. She claims Amy from work and Colin, a gay guy. I was like, really, why hide them? She's lying. She lost it several times. She met up with me randomly out of nowhere, knowing where I went for pizza, and grabbed the phone and ran. Insane. So when we got home we started fighting. She just wouldn't give up. Wouldn't admit it. She yelled more than me. As usual, I asked why she gets to yell each time I say she is lying. Even if I were wrong, I get to think she is. But it all came to a head when she again grabbed me, and tried to force me to hit her. I locked my hands behind my back, and she kept just pulling at them to make my hands hit her, screaming, hit me. Hit me. She then kept pushing me by and on the couch, and I kept saying, get off. I finally said I would call the cops and destroy her if I had to. She mocked me, yelling out the door, help. Help, my husband is going to destroy me. Making a scene. She then called the cops herself. She actually said to them she just wanted advice and was playing games. They took a long time to get here as a result. Just before they did, she called me and said to not say bad things she did, and she wouldn't for me. I said no. I'm telling the truth. So they got there and it was normal, and one talked to me and one my wife. The guy who talked to my wife came back saying he doesn't normally like to come out for advice, but he would give her a pamphlet and whatnot, and they were about ready to head out. However, then my guy updated him about what I said above. My wife thought they were close to leaving, and they were, so she was throwing out trash when they grabbed her again and walked her to the cop car. She was arrested. I could see the look on her face change when she went from I'm taking out trash and they will be out of our hair soon, to, oh shit. They are coming back for me. My two older girls started nearly having panic attacks, and then they asked them to get me. They informed me she was going to jail. I don't know all the specifics. It was confusing. My wife had tried to call my bluff on the cops and called them herself. I warned her in advance, but she kept getting bolder, thinking I didn't and wouldn't stop her. I did. This will now be on her record. I didn't want this regardless. The kids are torn up and I don't want a divided family. Before idiots here say remove the mom, it is not that simple, even when violent. At this age they will blame me. It will be years of trouble. And studies that say kids are better off are what I call pseudoscience. I'm sorry, it is. Sometimes you have to use your head. It is not, no matter what any of you say, good to have the mom arrested and kids removed from her in almost any circumstances unless they land you or kids in the hospital. Pushing is not enough. I wanted the cops to just warn her, and I told them that. But apparently in WA they have strict laws. So my cheating wife is in jail. My kids are more torn up than I've ever seen them. And I get to simmer in that. And she has likely been cheating the whole time with this other phone. Just FML. There are more to come. Find out the update of this story, check our channel or the description. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.